What's up, YouTube? Spencer K here, and we are back for another episode of Minecraft modded Earth nuclear tech map shenanigans, crazy 150 something mods. I don't really know the name we're going with yet. It's, I guess, modded Minecraft nuclear Earth mod. I don't know, man, because there's so many words you could put in there, and it's so true in all of them. But we are back. All right, and let me explain what we're doing before I go inside here, just willy-nilly. We're continuing the tour. This is part 2 to the tour of my world so far. Now, we are all the way out on the island I was actually stationed on when I was in the Navy for about 3 years and some change. So I actually worked on this island. In real life, the airport is here. Goes right about here is the strip. That's the runway. And that's really it. The rest of it's down here is kind of a bombing range, which is kind of cool. To experience. You get all the people going out there doing all the practicing and tests. It was really cool. But San Clemente Island, and none of that's top secret. None of that's going to get me in trouble. You can look it up. That's what the island does. It's been doing that since World War II. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and pan over here to the coastline. You can see it's actually not that far from the coast in game. It's about man, it depends what you're flying in. But for the plane we were in, which was a Twin Otter, it was about a 45-minute flight. We flew out of San Diego, but here's LA. You can see there's Long Beach. You just pop right down here. Here's San Clemente Island. Now, earlier in the series, I actually explored Catalina Island. Catalina Island is going to be, I'm going to say about right in here. But we had a map reset, and now the island's not here. There's a couple of islands out here, actually. I forgot the name of the chain of islands. There's like a name for the chain of islands there. I can't remember, but does not matter. Really does not matter. We're out here on the island. Why are we out here? Originally, I was going to build some things that were not so nice out here. I was going to put a lot of like nasty buildings of just like doing all the dirty work, like making a mob sanctuary and maybe a prison or something. I didn't like being on the island for 3.5 years. We're not going to get into that though. It is currently a mob grinder though. You come into here, if it's on a difficulty, your mobs would drop down. And we took all of the most powerful spawners, mob spawners. Holy cow, is it lagging for me. As I was saying, I'm going to hope that this video makes it out. But we took all the most powerful mob spawners we could get, put them in this dark little room here. And they worked pretty good. Pretty good. And then they go to the bottom. Alrighty, we're at the bottom now, and here's kind of what it looks like. It's not much down here, just a little area to sort out stuff. We used to change all the armor into full durability. We'd combine it up until it was good, and then we got our full monies back, or just full refund, if you would, of our iron and gold. That just takes way too long. So I've just been shoving everything in here, including enchanted stuff, and it just smelts it down. It's just time-wise, it's way easier. We have a little auto sorter thing going on, and then just a little storage room. Not a whole lot out here on the island. I'm actually building a new facility out in the desert, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, we are back at our next destination. I'm not sure where the last clip's going to cut out. I got the daylight scared out of me. What I was saying is I have a new mob grinder facility in the works, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But we are in the desert. Let's go and check the map out first here. We're in my Techtopian village. Now, I was talking about this village in the first part of the tour. In episode 38, I think is what it was. Hopefully I can get these numbers right eventually. But it's a really cool village. Now, we're going to get into it. You can already kind of see some people walking around. It's a mod that gives villagers a purpose. Like, they can literally do anything. They have their own inventories you can click on. You can't take stuff out of it, which is sometimes unfortunate, but, you know, in this case is probably for the better. They salute me, too. You can tell them to stop doing that if that gets annoying. I love it, right? Respect me. Respect my authority. That's what diamond armor looks like on a villager. It looks kind of goofy, but nonetheless, it gives villagers a purpose. All you have to do is build the buildings. They will actually do everything else. And we'll get into a whole video top to bottom on this thing. I really hope this video doesn't come out too laggy. It's already starting to get a little choppy on my end, which I'm not a big fan of. I've been trying to work with this mod pack, trying to work with my PC. Hopefully the music covers the little ticking sound of my fan as well. Hit or miss with that. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. We're just gonna, nonetheless, I'm getting sidetracked here. But yeah, this village does it all, and actually we're gonna be able to watch her. She's gonna chop a tree down for us. Look at that. Villager chopping down a tree. I never thought I'd see that day. That's what I thought they did when they got introduced to Minecraft. People were saying like, oh yeah, you can like trade wood with them and stuff. I was like, cool, so they chop trees? Well, no, they actually just do nothing. And they just get really loud and obnoxious and slam the door in your face. So villagers were kind of a letdown when they added them in Minecraft, whatever update that was. But now they're cool again with Techtopia, man. Shout out to Techtopia. But this is the starter building. These two guys right here. Wow, look at those names. I don't know if those names change or what, but this is where you buy all the goodies from. They basically, you build the building itself. All it needs is 4 walls, a roof, and a door. It doesn't matter what it looks like or anything like that. But then you just put this on an item frame outside the door, and that lets the villagers know, hey, this is what this building is. Now, I would mine it, but that'd kind of destroy the village. But like this is a storage building. So this right here is telling all the villagers, hey, this is a storage building. Come here to get new stuff, drop stuff off. And what's really cool, and you can tell what the villagers have done compared to what I have done, is anything in white is made by me or gathered by me. So all this bread I crafted. However, all these apples in the wood and even some of the tools were all the villagers. Now, like over here too, this is kind of a mix. Like you can see, I've brought them a bunch of tools, and then they've crafted wooden swords. I've completely decked them out from that mob grinder that I just showed you guys. I get all the mob droppings and I bring them over here to these guys. Speaking of which is what I'm actually needing to do right now. So let me go ahead and drop all this stuff off. Alrighty, we are done here, and wow, my screen is getting filled up. But yeah, as you can see, these guys are trading. They're taking bread out of here. I actually added some carrots and potatoes. They're putting their wood in. You know, they're either going to go to bed, or the really cool thing is a lot of them will go over here. There's a bar. One of the buildings is actually a tavern, where they go and they party, and they actually have drinks. This is kind of funny. They actually have animated like beer mugs, and nope, everyone's gonna go to bed. It seems like maybe I missed it, dropping off all that stuff. But yeah, there's actually farmers. They do all the farming work for you. And there's just a little bit of everything. There's a teacher. I mean, if you want villagers to function and you want to have some fun with villagers and kind of building up a little city or town that actually has a purpose, each building is being used, I highly recommend the Techtopia mod. I don't know if it's in anything other than 1.12.2. That's currently what I'm in. But yeah, this is awesome. And I built it in a little desert here. I built everything except this pyramid. This pyramid was actually one of the modded generated buildings. And I don't even think it's cleared out all the way technically. I'll get back to that blue wall here in just a second. Okay, that scared me, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, this was randomly generated by one of the other mods. And I thought, wow, this would be a perfect place to put a little desert village right next to a pyramid. So it kind of gives you like an Egyptian feel. I don't know, just kind of that deserty city with the pyramid right next to it. I don't know, I've never really been to Egypt, but that's what it gives me. It's probably completely wrong, of course, but this blue wall lets you know the village's border limits. So anything within this wall, villagers will interact with, can live at, can farm, mine, all that good stuff. They will not touch anything outside of this block, and they only touch what you tell them to. Farms are natural because they recognize, hey, it's a plant. So if you want to decorate your town, I highly do not recommend using like just random wheat blocks or sugar cane, unless you want the villagers to like harvest that, because otherwise they will. They will completely tear down your farm and whatnot. And they do a pretty good job taking care of it. They try to plant what's next to it. So if they recognize, hey, there's, you know, if right here there's nothing, they're like, but it's wheat here. So that means wheat should probably be here. And if there's like 3 wheat and a carrot, they're probably going to be like, all right, 3 wheat. So that means a wheat. I don't know. It's a pretty cool mod. It's pretty well made. I've had a couple of glitches that I've recently fixed by tearing down that fence. I had villagers get stuck here, and I think it's because they're trying to harvest the sugar cane. I'm not entirely sure though. But with that said, you can tell I got like a little military base going on. We got a couple of natural HBM structures that spawned in the village, and I decided to just keep it. That's my storage building. And I was going to turn this into like some sort of command post or something. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really done anything left with it. The villagers, the guards here in the armor, actually recognize this as like an outpost. So you can see he's standing next to another one. So they recognize this as like, hey, I have to guard this exact location, which is kind of cool. I'm going to put more around the village at some point. But I thought that was just neat. You can see them doing their waves, just wandering around. These guys actually are supposed to only come out at night. They guard the village at night when mobs would normally be roaming around. Since it's on peaceful, they don't really have a whole lot of enemies yet, but it is pretty cool. These guys are the nocturnal folk, and then the rest of the villagers can go and sleep. We can go and check them out real quick before I have to go to bed, or move on to the next location here. Sorry. They're probably all asleep, so this is probably going to be really creepy. You can hear them snoring. It's just a fun little mod. I love how I gave villagers a purpose. I really do. That's really funny. Yeah, they don't actually breed like normal villagers. If they're happy enough, they give you a heart, and then you use that heart to spawn in a child. So yeah, no PG-13 stuff going on here in this village, thankfully. I'd be nervous, man. I'd be nervous. But the trees are kind of funky because I have another mod that makes trees a little bit different. And so, yeah, we're just going to have to ignore the mess of a tree farm we got going on. But other than that, I think so far we're doing good. A lot of these guys are upset, and I'm not sure why. What's going on with that? Hunger? I mean, that can't be. You're doing okay, man. I mean, he's fairly happy. I don't know. It's just something you kind of got to toy around with. Sometimes they're mad. Sometimes, I don't know, man. These guys got a mind of their own. But it's a pretty cool mod. And the reason I craft all the bread is here's the bakery. Unfortunately, with Pam's Harvest Craft, the recipe for bread has completely changed. Let me see. It's probably not even in here. No, it's not. But it requires salt, sugar, dough. You need the works to make bread now, and then you have to use these tools. So that's why I did that. But moving right along, man. And is there anything I'm missing? Alrighty, guys, as you can see, I'm on one edge of the village right here next to the pyramid. Here's the pyramid. This is the only entrance officially in and out of the village. Of course, I always bounce in and out. Building some apartments right here for them. We got the edge with the pyramid, and then you can see the little blue wall here. And then this is like a customs building. I was going to make like a little customs, you know, a little role play type feature here. This is a parking lot for tours for both the village and the pyramid. You know, if this was like an actual city and you had actual humans, players wandering around, this would be a customs building. I don't want the villagers leaving without going through customs. I don't want players going in without going through customs, right? Border security, that's what we're all about. Not really. But yeah, that's about it. This building behind me, which is just thankfully stationed in a place that's not close to one of my most highly populated areas at all. You know, why wouldn't it be? This is a shit show. I'm not even going to go inside of it, but if you see this building, there's another structure that intertwined. I'm going to rebuild this back. Thankfully, there's more concrete. There's more structure between me and hell, but it's basically the elephant's foot from Chernobyl is underneath this building. It is not a fun time to not have radioactive suits on and a shit ton of radiation absorbers, because it's hell. It is hell down there. I've never died so much in one of these buildings. I don't know where that building was, but yeah, it was pretty hell. Now, I'm going to go to our next destination here, but I'm going to kind of walk you through my roads. I've been doing a ton of roads out here in the desert. A, because concrete requires sand, and as you can see, we have quite a bit of sand out here. But B, it's just kind of where I've been spending most of my time. There's a lot of HBM structures, all this stuff. We'll get into this in the next episodes, like what this green thing is. We'll explore some of these power plants. Like this one hasn't been explored yet. And there's just a ton of things to do and explore. But I've been building roads all over, and it's kind of felt cool. Eventually, there's going to be a road going around this entire lake. I'm calling it. It's actually called the Salton Sea on Google Maps. So I don't know what it really is, if it's a sea or a lake. But I'm going to call it a lake in this game. But yeah, we have a road going all the way back, and hopefully it'll eventually plug into here in San Diego. You can see we've actually done quite a bit. That is a lot of pavement. That is a lot of mining. And it is very hilly in some of these locations, too. You can kind of see it step up and down. So this was a lot of fun. Not really, but it was pretty cool. And then, yeah, you got all this road here going all the way back to where we're going to go next. We got a couple of farms over here in the works, too. When that happens, it's because I double-click too fast, which I don't like that feature. I wish I could turn it off. But getting into over here, you can see we got a little military base going on. This will be our next location, so I'll go ahead and meet you guys over there. Alrighty, we are at our next destination. It's currently raining, and I think the storm blew in at the last place, and I just didn't say anything. But it kind of gives like a sandstormy feeling where it's really dark and kind of just gloomy. You can't really see far in a sandstorm. I can't even see that fence that's less than 20 blocks away, so I'll be right back when it's not storming anymore. Alright, I am back, and the sandstorm / rain is not over yet. However, we'll go ahead and kind of talk about everything here on the map, and we'll do a really quick walkthrough. You know how normally I'm walking and talking. This time it'll just be a walkthrough, and we'll try to combine them another time. But yeah, we are currently in my desert, what I call my desert facility, desert military base. It even is desert town now, if you'd like. And it's just, like I said, a hop, skip, and a jump from my Techtopian village. Really, really cool. So this is where I originally came to start testing my HBM nuclear tech mod. And it only started with one building this building right here. And I decided, hey, that's not going to be enough for storage and for testing and for the machinery that comes along with not only that mod, but Ender.io, Immersive Engineering, and several other tech mods I, for some reason, added. So I built 2 more brick buildings, and you can see them right here and right here. And to put that into perspective, this is the original right here. You can tell because it kind of has the puffs of smoke coming out of the chimney. And then I rebuilt this one, and I rebuilt this one without the chimney, because I can't be bothered to do that. Now, I am using the chimney for, what mod is it? Tinker's Construct. I'm turning it into a Tinker's Furnace, which was a really cool idea I had. Thankful I had it. But this is what the inside normally looks like. It'll spawn in with some machinery and stuff. Doesn't matter. We'll have an HBM Tech Mod episode. We'll probably have a whole ton of episodes of us playing with the HBM Nuclear Tech Mod. But with that said, those are the 3 buildings. I'm building this building right here is kind of to take over the purpose of these 3 buildings. These 3 buildings will be for storage, and then this will be like the actual factory building where we get all the actual equipment in there. And it is pretty crazy. Now, I'm going to have to do a whole episode of me just talking about this building. But this mod has a ton. I mean, it has oil, which I do have over here. I hate how I jump everywhere. It gets so goofy. Come on. Make it over, man. Make it over. But there's oil deposits, which you're not supposed to mine. But I do, because I bring them back here, and then I put them underneath here. And then this oil derrick will actually pump out oil for me. Turn it into crude oil and natural gas. And then you have to create a whole refinery system over here to turn it into all the other types of oil, which is heavy oil, naphtha, if I'm saying that right, light oil, and petroleum. And you can pump it into all the other things. And all those different types of fuels have all kinds of different purposes that I am still learning. So it is a whole process. And that's just the outside, right? This is the first part. This was here before the building. It was here before the building. And you might ask yourself, how do I power all this stuff? Well, if it wasn't raining or actively in a sandstorm, I would do it with solar power until recently. There's another building over there you can't see yet. But solar power, solar tower boilers, which are really cool. Kind of expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. Not the most efficient way to get power. It is the most renewable. Once you build it forever. It's just not that powerful. It doesn't power a whole lot. And it only works during the daytime. And when it's raining like this, it's even reduced power-wise. Power-wise is just not going up a whole lot. I mean, there are things that generate power by the hundreds of thousands per second. This thing's only doing a couple hundred during the storm right now. But I have an excess of water, too, that's getting pumped out. But I have 4 solar boiler towers, I guess you could call it. And then I got a couple of these industrial steam turbines. What happens is these generate steam, kicks it into here, and then this creates low pressure steam. The low pressure steam goes into these cooling towers and then kicks it into here for water. And it doesn't do a whole lot of power generation, like I said. Now, this thing is something I've been experimenting with. I forgot what these are called. But it's, from what I can tell, it's like a magnet almost of some sort. Because it's like you got a positive end and a negative end. And the further away they are from each other, the more power they generate. So this is kind of weird, kind of cool. Way more efficient in terms of cost, I'd say. Like, these took a lot of iron and a lot of aluminum, or maybe it was titanium or something. But this took a lot of metal, like a ton of metal, and it doesn't even do it a whole lot. This does it 24/7, and it wasn't even that expensive. It's a little bit more further along technology-wise, maybe? Like, I don't know. It's a tough one to say. But hey, there's a sandstorm. It is officially done. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of what I was hoping on here. We can finally get to an advantage and kind of see the whole building. Now, the building itself is not done, and it is kind of a shit show right now, but we'll get it done eventually. This is my power room. This is my battery room. I'm going to have, these are the lowest type of energy storage battery thing. They only hold 1 million. These hold 50 million. There's one that holds like 100 million. Then there's one that holds 1,000. So I was going to kind of go by size, kind of do sections. Because if I don't need a ton of power, then I don't want to do the big one. But maybe I will. These are my centrifuge room, and I shouldn't even be getting into each single technology piece of equipment here. I'll do a whole episode on that. But electric furnaces, these are awesome. They don't give you experience, sadly, but it's free power, really. Between that and the solar and the Gosh, I can't remember what those were called. I really cannot. That's going to bother the hell out of me. And my character's coughing now, all of a sudden. So that's not good. I must have gotten to something. I don't know what I would have gotten into, but that stinks. We got my ore acidizer room. We got an unfortunate glitch with the HBM nuclear tech mod. You can no longer craft these for the time being, which kind of stinks. But, well, you can craft the ore acidizers. There's just one part you cannot craft, and that part's required in order to build one of those. I'm going to go to bed real quick, and I'll be right back. Already, I have awakened from my slumber. I guess I should explain this cobblestone. I'm breaking it down into gravel for all my roads that I've been building, and this is just the easiest place to put it. This is not permanent. There's actually a road under here. I'm sorry. But here is where we're getting into some other mods. Now, I think this was immersive engineering, and it is. So I was doing this with immersive engineering, and I had ice here. We're just in the desert, and ice does not stay in the desert, so I have to use water. But I had an auto farm over there going for a little bit, which was pretty cool. And over here was going to be kind of that immersive engineering building. The immersive engineering version of that building I'm building actually right across the street, I just realized. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize they did it like that. But and that's pretty much it for this exact location. Now, I will say down here, I'm not going to go down here. But down here is where I played Meteorite Dodgeball. Now, I mentioned this in the first part of the tour. You can actually still see some meteorites in the ground that I just missed. But all these craters are from Meteorite Dodgeball. And I did it once on stream, and they watched me lose. I got absolutely clobbered by a meteorite, so I am 1-1. We'll do that sometime in the future. It's actually a lot of fun. And you get resources from it, which is pretty cool. But moving right along, we're going to go ahead and bounce over to here. Maybe, if my thing lets me. This area... Oh! Holy cow, okay, we got a couple of things I missed here. First thing, hopefully the ticking's not too loud. This area is very, 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 very laggy. I have a lot of technology going, a lot of material, and there's just a lot of shenanigans. Now, I'm not going to go down into there, but this is a huge mine I have going on. Essentially, in the last 2 episodes of this series, I talked about how the Earth map still generates, but structures don't generate, as well as modded ores don't generate anymore when I go into new chunks. So if I ever wanted to step foot pretty much anywhere east of this river here, nothing modded will generate. Only the Earth map. It'll be vanilla Minecraft, just placed in an Earth-like form. So, unfortunate. Until I get that fixed, my only solution is I'm going to have to mine the absolute piss out of everywhere I have already explored, which doesn't feel like a whole lot of area, but I mean, when you look at it, it is a lot of land. I mean, there's going to be enough ore here to help me through the next, 5 to 10 real life years of me playing this world. Now, that's not that far because I didn't add the mods until about right here, but you can see there is a ton of material, ton of potential. I think at least 5 to 10 years, especially if I get farms going and some other mods kind of help me with it. It is quite a bit of land, so doesn't matter. I was looking at the map for too long there. Nonetheless, we have to mine the absolute hell out of everywhere we have already explored, just because of that issue with the Earth map not spawning stuff. Now, I do have a couple of drills going here. Actually, none of them are going right now. I was prepping them for the next wave. I mine all the sand because it's a waste of electricity to have these things mine sand when I can do it in 3 seconds. And wow, is this getting really laggy. Okay, it was getting way too laggy for me right there. I had to take a quick break. But I'm not going to go over here. I mean, you can see it in front of me. It's not really paved yet. You can't see the whole thing. But I have a really cool airport, military air base, whatever you want to call it, in the works here. Like the last airport, I did the white center lines. In real life, it's supposed to be yellow. I like white because I think it differentiates it. I am an air traffic controller, so I'm critical on myself for making this mistake. But I still think it looks cool. I think it looks better with white, right? I don't know. But with that said, it's a pretty cool runway, and the numbers are accurate. This is heading 270, and this is heading 90 degrees, so it'd be 990 for that. But yeah, pretty cool airport. I do have one plane somewhere down there. We're probably... Oh, you can't see him. Look at it. Look at the little plane, little baby. I don't have any jets yet or anything. That mod's actually been disabled for a glitch it caused. But moving right along, man, these satellites are actually naturally spawning, believe it or not. They don't do anything. They just have really cool looks, so I decided to remodel it a little bit because they had like a funky staircase where you had to walk up the outside all the way up to this and then there's a building up there. I didn't like that, so I created an elevator. Check this out. Boop, and it, it crashes your game. No, it teleports you up and down. This elevator mod is really cool. Cool guy. I finally have a use for the elevator mod. He's been roasting me because I haven't for so long. But we do. We have a use for it. And then I also built this building, I actually want to say. I built this one, which has a purpose for this style of building. And then it's kind of like a radio tower, like you would, like a NASA thing or Space Force thing. I don't know what we got going on here. But we got the exact same thing over here. Another naturally spawning satellite. And then another building that I haven't quite got built up all the way. Moving right along, I'm bouncing over here. This is where I tested the mining things, and they're very loud, if you cannot tell. So I'm gonna take a few steps back. But once again, solar power, and they're kind of mining. This is where I tested it. Worked out pretty good. I decided to put it over there because it's a little closer to what I was doing, and I could hook it into my main power source. Now moving down even further along this road, it gets even cooler, man. This, oh man, if you can't already tell what this is about to be, this was fun. This version was not too difficult. I'm just gonna walk there. It seems like my bounce thing, sometimes when my computer starts getting laggy, or the game starts getting laggy, the bounce thing doesn't work as much, so we'll walk down. But I had a couple of test variations of a nuclear power plant in a different world, and none of them went swimmingly. They all sucked, man. I had a lot of meltdowns. Now, I took what was a naturally spawning nuclear power plant. I sanitized it. I got rid of all the radiation because it was a melted down nuclear power plant. And then I built my own power plant here in the back, and it doesn't look as cool. I kept the old structure though because I thought it looked kind of cool. Maybe it could be like a, version 1, version 2. And just version 1 is now old. It's just it's too expensive to tear the building down. So we might as well keep it. But Savage Vegeta, shout out to that guy. I'm gonna even link him in this video. I need to link him more in more of these nuclear tech mod videos. That man has helped me out so much with his nuclear tech mod showcases, tutorials, him just talking about things. Hell, him just making fun of me in his video. Not really, he doesn't do that, but he has helped me so much in these videos, and I was finally able to get my first survival-only nuclear power plant going. And it doesn't create a whole lot of power. It's a very weak reactor. Inside of here is my reactor. Now, one cool thing is if you encase it in water, it gets rid of quite a bit of radiation, if not all of it. But then if you surround it in these bricks, it really gets rid of all the radiation. So really, you get a tiny bit, but if you're wearing a suit, and I also have a decontaminator, or no, I got a radiation absorber. Sorry, I got both here. Really, I don't feel the radiation at all. I could be butt-ass naked out here and I won't get radiated for the most part. However, you know what? There is fuel in there. How much fuel we got? A little, not enough. But I could turn it on. We'll go ahead and turn it on. We'll turn one of them on for you guys. Here we go. All you do is flip this on now, and it lifts the rods up, as you can see. Looks completely complicated, and it is. It's very complicated. Do not try this at home. I'm going to stand on this thing just in case I do get hit with a little bit of radiation. I shouldn't. But you'll see the fuel slowly depletes over time. The coolant I have in there that auto-regenerates because of the way Savage Vegeta set it up. I'll have to do my own video on how it works, tearing this thing open. I don't have the equipment or the tools right now to do it, but you get all the heat and whatnot. It is really cool. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off just for right now, but it is awesome. I love it. It generates quite a bit of power. Actually, that's one thing I should have shown you. Oh, darn it. Bummer. I should have shown you. It wasn't doing a whole lot because I only had one of them on, and there's 4 of them in there. But nonetheless, really cool. I got a functioning nuclear power plant, and this is kind of what I got going on at the other place with some equipment and stuff if I ever need another place to use it. If that place is just overflowing, I got this one. But with that said, for the desert facility, I mean, for future plans, we're going to be doing a lot of building out here and a lot of exploring. We're going to go and raid a lot of these buildings and stuff. Pretty much every building up here is untouched. I don't think I've touched really any of these buildings or structures. You can see all the power plants still have their radioactive barrels. All these yellow things at the power plants, these are radioactive barrels. Now I always mind those because those hurt, so I get rid of them when I go to those. So I just walked by those from a safe distance. But yeah, you can see a ton of power plants, a ton of stuff we got to explore. And that'll be a lot of fun. And then just some building. And without further ado, I think there's one more place I want to show you guys, and that'll be it for this video. Alrighty, we are back in my final location, and I built all of this. It's beautiful, isn't it? I'm just kidding. This is actually a naturally spawning structure here in the desert. And I double-clicked too far, and it not only did it spawn randomly in the desert in one of the most beautiful locations possible. Well, there's two of them actually. I forgot about that one, but it did so in the Grand Canyon. It's like a hotel in the Grand Canyon. There's another weird structure down there that I checked out too. But I put my waystone, aka my teleporter, in this building because if you walk outside, and you can turn left or right, doesn't really matter. If it was a little bit nicer out here, if I touched it up a little bit, like added a patio, maybe a little patio or something, and just made this look a little better. Holy cow, you got a beautiful view of the Grand Canyon. It is awesome. This Earth map, this Earth mod, holy cow, is it a blast. I mean, this is just beautiful. I don't even know if I ever want to build stuff here. Like, this might just have to be a natural park or natural forest like it is in real life. The birds chirping. I mean, this is just cool. I'll get rid of all the structures that spawn within it. And then, like those are technically little gears that spawn. I don't know why. Maybe keep those. Those kind of are cool. They were pretty good with it. But get rid of stuff like that and then build a hotel or something, man. This structure just spawned in the most perfect, beautiful location. And it really, this one over here did as well. This one isn't right on the canyon itself. But, you know, I could build a parking lot around this one and maybe a shuttle or something. And then this will be like the lookout on the north end of the canyon or something. But, man, I could explore this all day. I could do a whole episode of me walking up and down this canyon. Okay. We got that sounded like an eagle screeching. I don't know what that was. But yeah, if I zoom out, I mean, I haven't even explored this whole canyon. This thing is so big, dude. I mean, I've never seen the Grand Canyon in real life, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit that, especially because I'm stationed not too far away from it. But this thing just stretches on and on and on. And it's not only like the big part of the canyon itself, it's like all these little veins that pop out of it, all these little mini canyons, little ruts and stuff. I don't know what they're called exactly, but I mean, it just goes on. And then you got plateaus. Like, it's so cool seeing this because it literally drops a good 20-30 blocks into the canyon itself. And then up here is like this beautiful plateau with all, like a spruce forest. It is so cool. I have a blast exploring this area. Even right here, it's pretty cool. You got all these trees and stuff like a normal desert. And then bam, 20-30 blocks. And you're going into a canyon with the river floating down the middle, man. It is a lot of fun. I can't wait to start exploring more of this planet and hopefully fix this issue with buildings and stuff not spawning. Now, once again, it's a national park, so if I wanted to mine all the resources, like you can see the nuclear mods and stuff are here. And I'd love to mine all the material, but I definitely can't destroy the Grand Canyon, so that's kind of tricky. But with that said, man, I mean, just a beautiful world, a bunch of awesome mods. And this river, I did explore it. I'm not going to follow it right now for you guys, but I did explore this river. And actually, this is near Las Vegas. I don't know if this is Lake Mead itself or if it's like just south of Lake Mead, but Las Vegas, it would be right in this area-ish. I'd say definitely a quarter of Las Vegas has to be within frame. Somewhere right around here. I mean, we are right there in that neck of the woods. So it's kind of cool to finally get out of California here into Nevada-ish. Would be right in here. The southern tip of Nevada would cut down right around here. And then Arizona. You got Arizona with the Grand Canyon over here. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful area of the world. And with that said, I think that's going to go ahead and be everything. I don't think there's much else to show you guys. I haven't built anything here at the Grand Canyon yet. It's just so damn pretty. I don't know if I ever will. Maybe a road going around it so people can go around it. But I really don't know, man. Really cool neck of the woods. And this is what it looks like without me really being here a whole lot. I've only been here a handful of times. And I never really mined anything, or I really just came here to fill out the map. And but this is a beautiful little hotel. I bet you I could turn it into a hotel. Like, probably add I could probably add like a wing on here or something, like a tower on, and had a bunch of rooms or something. Because it has a sauna. Has like a little thing in the main room here, and it has like a sauna room, or 2 sauna rooms. You got a male and female sauna room here, or hot tub. I don't know what's going on in here, man, but it's just a really pretty building. I don't know exactly what structures mod this was a part of, but it was really, really cool. I don't even know what this is. This is creepy. Okay, I'm a little scared now. I'm not going to go in there, but yeah, or worst case, I just tear it down and I take all the quartz because I need quartz. But with that said, man, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know another tour, nothing too crazy, but now that we got both tours out of the way, we can actually get back into building, exploring, and surviving and all that good stuff, and hopefully get my PC fixed, get into a difficulty here again, because there's a lot of cool stuff with the difficulties. Let me know what you guys want to see up next. If you guys want me to explore some ruins, if you guys want me to play meteorite dodgeball, or open some crates, some nuclear crates, let me know down below, and depending on the answers, if we get any, is what the next video will be. If not, I'll just decide. Alright? How's that? Yeah. That's what's going to happen. But with that said, man, I will see you guys next time.